What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Personified Fandom, episode 25, coming to you live from right here in the exact same spot that we're always sitting. I am Josh Meany, your host for today, and I got the boys with me. First up, we got the mythical man of movie madness himself, Mr. Mike Daggs. Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. As soon as I can share the live stream, will be golden, I guess. But I can't even see it. But maybe it's on my phone. Maybe it's this damn stupid MacBook that I'm forced to use now. Jesus. But yeah, I'm good.
And the man, the myth, the legend himself, the man of many names, the man of many drinks, Mr. Ginty, Mr. Eric, Mr. Toke. How you doing? That's good.
That's the reporter right there. That's the reporter going, "Hi, Tom. Great."
Dude, I'm great, man. You know how it is. Busting my ass. It's been warm. Doing some shit outside, having a couple of drinks, and now we here. We're gonna have some fun.
Summertime hitting. And I love how I have like these super extravagant names for you guys, and I'm just Josh. I'm just Josh, and then I got the mythical man of movie madness, the man, the myth, the legend, and Josh. But we got a couple of news topics for you guys that we're gonna run through today. Mike, what is the first topic that we're gonna work on if you have some free time from sharing the live stream?
We're good. So there's a couple more, like, it's just like the media outlets going off today. A couple days ago at WWDC, it was announced that Apple, speaking of stupid Apple, they announced a mixed alternate reality or augmented reality, virtual reality, the Vision Pro, which is a headset you put on your head and you can see things. Basically, you can see your MacBook and your iPhone and all that crap in the real virtual space. So it's announced at $3,500.
Steep.
It's pretty deep. It's pretty deep for something you put on. It's supposedly it's wired and wireless. Wireless runs up to 2 hours. Wired is all day. Up to 2 hours. So in a year in, it's not going to last that long.
Yeah, that battery life's going to deplenish.
Eric, as our resident Apple fanatic, are you going to buy one? And how many do you have pre-ordered so far?
Fuck no. I am not spending $3,500 on a pair of goggles. Not happening. I mean, it's a cool concept. I mean, I think it's great, but not for $3,500. You ain't gonna see
That's
me
a
wearing
dope
that
quote.
shit.
I'm not going to spend $3,500 on a pair of fucking goggles.
Yeah, it's
No.
Eric Tokenel.
it's
Write
tough.
that down.
It's like I was talking to my brother with it about it, and like the way of the future is kind of this goggle thing. They've been trying to push it for years. You've seen things like the Quest, the other like head things you throw on, you slap on that. I'm trying to think of the names here. I have them down here. So it's eventually these things are going to be more common. They're going to come down in price, kind of like everything else. The Google Lenses had this a while ago. That were like sunglasses that you wear, and you could like check the prices of things. And I mean, eventually, like, these type of things will be on the market everywhere. And it is cool to see. Like, some of the features are pretty cool. I love the idea of like when you're consuming a movie, it being like a giant screen essentially, where you can just see it. They did like tech demos of it where you're at like a sporting event and you can sit like courtside. So eventually I think they'll sell tickets that way. Yeah. So you can experience the game being right up front. And then just like, I don't know, like porn is probably going to be a huge thing. Because, I mean, if you look at the numbers of things that it does for like the VR, it's pretty crazy how driven that market is.
That right there is taking POV to a whole new fucking level.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. What would be the price point that you would buy one, Josh? Because I know, so all jokes aside, me and Josh have a lot of Apple like products. You have a MacBook, iPhone.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else? Are you else in the ecosphere?
Uh, no, just the iPhone, the MacBook. I did have the AirPods, but I've had two sets of them, and I just always lose them bitches. Um, I think. See, I watched like that whole demo video that they did, and they were like showing everything about it. I do think that this is absolutely incredible. I knew we would get here eventually, but I gotta say I have to wait until it's affordable and reasonable for a middle class man like myself. I don't
Yeah.
have $3,500 to go spend on this thing, but when it is affordable, I mean, you bet your ass I'm gonna get it. I love virtual reality, and one of the cons I think of virtual reality was when you have these headsets on, you can't see anything that's going on around you. And I really like that you can. It's clear, you can see through. And they were also doing these demos that they're now going to introduce this 3D video and 3D pictures. And when the guy's replaying it, it's like it's right in front of you. And I just that's next generation, man. That's next step in technology. That's going to be phenomenal when we're old. I mean, 20 years from now, this thing is going to be affordable. We're all going to have something like this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's absolutely incredible. I love that the panoramic photos that you can take. Like when you put the headset on, you can look at the panoramic photo. Like you can literally relive memories in a way that you never could before. So I do think that this is the next step in technology. I do think it's absolutely phenomenal, but of course it's in that price range where I can't imagine anybody I know will have this. Maybe if even this is still a steep price, but even if it was $1,000, it's like, I know some people who might end up getting it, but $3,500, that's just not like, it's not that important to me.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
It's crazy. I'm actually surprised of how quickly not quickly, but how that Apple's doing this. I mean, I'm not surprised. I know that, using their products, the one thing about it is they are expensive, but they tend to work pretty well. The reason why I never thought I'd be buying another freaking MacBook, but long story short, I kind of broke my other one, so I have to probably buy a new one because the steep level of a PC laptop, if it's not a $1,200 laptop, a Windows laptop, it's kind of trash. I mean, the lower price ones have kind of came up there, but the build quality in them is just not. Even today, I was at Best Buy because I had some time at work, so I was at Best Buy checking them out, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this $800 laptop feels like a fucking toy. It just feels like I'm gonna mess it up and break it. And coming from my old HP, it's heavy. It's if you want a bigger one, it's heavy as crap, and it's made of plastic, and it's just I've broken off where you put the CD-ROM, which you don't even need that, but that piece is broken, and it's weird. But I will say, because I know we were joking about how Ginty Toke, you were fuck Apple products, and I don't ever. You tried to use an iPad once and didn't go so well.
No, I mean, I can use them. I mean, I've used iPads. It's just I just don't care for them. I mean, everything that you can do on those, I can do on my Android, and I love my Androids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're just for me. I've always used them. It's just ingrained in me and how I use technology now because that's pretty much all I've ever used.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that Android can't get their shit together with a tablet, an actual tablet that works. They had the Galaxy before the Galaxies, and that thing was such a piece of crap. It's so weird because iPads are great for kids and stuff.
Yeah, Apple is definitely an adjustment. I was definitely I always had I always had Samsung. I always had a Galaxy, and the only reason I got an iPhone is because it happened to be on sale at Verizon. It was buy one get one free, and my wife was like, "Well, she was on iPhone. She's like, I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get a free one." Try it, and if you don't like it, go back to the Galaxy. I had the Galaxy S9 at the time, and I just remember saying,
"I'm so weird because I had the exact same."
Really, yeah, and I loved it. And to this day, Galaxies are great. And I always felt like the thing I really liked about Galaxy is I was able to like go on and just download anything I wanted from the internet browser. Apple couldn't always do that. It can now, but it couldn't always do that, and that was always a big turnoff for me. But just the interface and everything about Apple, it's its own world. So when you transfer over, it is frustrating. But I will say, once you get it down, I feel like I'll never go back because it just everything works so well together. That's the pro and con, you know. Apple works great with Apple, but it really only works great with Apple, you know. But when it comes to those products, they're reliable. They get the updates. Like even if I have right now, I have the iPhone 13 Pro. You know, I'm good with this phone for a pretty long time. You know, they can come out with like 4 new ones, and I'll be straight. And then maybe I'll get the one after that, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
I do think Apple is a great company, and I'm not surprised that Apple would be the one to really jump into this like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, my video right now is off of my Android phone. I mean, it's pretty fucking clear if you ask me.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I use it for streaming. I use it for everything else. And I actually, when I went to go buy this phone, I contemplated converting to iPhone. And the salesman actually looked at me and goes, "Why?"
Yeah, I feel like a lot of salesmen don't care, like don't want to. Like when I went to go, it was like, oh god, I think it was the iPhone 8 was coming out, and I wanted the 7, and they didn't have the color that I wanted. They didn't have the 7. I had to get the 8, and then like to put money down to buy the phone was more expensive than like if I got like the. I can't even remember. I think I got the Nexus, the Google Nexus or whatever, which was like the precursor to the
I remember that.
to the Pixel. And so I was like, well, why do I have to pay so much more? And the girl was like, don't get an iPhone, stick with this one. And I was like, okay. And it's weird because it's like now years later when I did make the switch, just because I like to have, if I'm going to spend $1,000, close to $1,000 on a phone, I like to like at least try and have the top of the line one.
Oh,
and
yeah,
when so all the like comparatives was just like iPhone's better than all those phones, and I was like, all right, you know, I'll fucking try it. Like whatever, I'll try it. I already have AirPods because AirPods are for the price is great, but
they're
so
good.
Basically,
headphones.
become
I
an
just
Apple.
keep fucking losing them.
No, well, my salesman actually had both. He had an Android phone and an iPhone. Like they were both. He had 2 phones, but because of what but for what I do, and obviously I was doing the research, going back and forth, and then when if I was gonna go iPhone, it was gonna obviously be the new Pro Max, whatever, so I could have like I wanted all the lenses, all different cameras, and all the stuff on the phone,
which are way different. Because my fiance has the 12, and our pictures are not the same. They're they're night and day. Like, I wouldn't say night and day, but it's like she takes a picture, you see it, it's fine, looks great, good picture. I take a picture because I have the 14 Pro Max. I take the picture, and it's like, holy shit, that's such a better photo.
It's insane.
Yeah, same as mine. And then if I was sticking with Android, it was, do I want to stick with Android, or did I want to go with the Google Pixel?
Which is good in its own right, but
it is. And now for just for the camera aspect, it would have been the perfect phone. But battery life, charging time doesn't even compare to Android.
Yeah, and those lightning chargers
Samsung,
are a life changer. I mean, that thing fucking fully charges my phone in less than an hour. Like the thing's just ready to go.
I will say that's one thing that's lacked for the iPhones is the fast charging. Because like now the Galaxy and some of the other ones charge like you can plug your phone in 15 minutes. It's at like 60%.
Yeah,
which we don't like. We, as me and you, Josh, I'm saying we don't get that. It's like it's slower because I had OnePlus, and OnePlus would charge my phone in like 10 minutes. But for me, honestly, it's not a big deal because I'm always near a charger, whether it's at my house or in the car or at work. I drive, so I'm always with a charger. So having a dead phone has never been an issue, especially where you have a giant phone that has a like 24-hour battery life. It's never been like, oh my god, my phone's dying, and I don't know. But It is what it is. I hate the whole Apple versus Android debate. They're the same phone. It's the same thing. They do the same things at the end of the day.
Specs are damn near the same every time. I pull them up. They always have the
Mm-hmm.
comparisons. I look at them both, and I'm like, they might be off by a tiny bit, but never significant enough to where I'm like, oh, this is eons better. Like, they come out, the new ones come out right after each other. It's like...
It's never going to be like that again. It's never going to be where it's like, oh, yeah, iPhone is superior and Android shit. Like, now, the thing is, too,
Just
the thing I like about it is, like, you know, if you buy a lower-end phone, you don't really have a choice with Apple. It's like you just go get an Android. But so if you want, like, a $300 phone, you can't really do anything on the Apple end. Like, it's not for the poor people. That's what they always say.
Yeah.
But phones, just put it on your plan. It's fucking $20 a month. You're already paying Comcast $150 a month for your stupid internet. But anyway, moving on to
Things that are different.
Another big corporation that sucks. Disney. Disney has moved some stuff back, moved some things forward of their lineup for movies. And it's all because of this strike. Is this strike still going on? Is this going to be the longest
still going on.
strike in history?
They came to some sort of deal with the producers because the producers also had their own strike going on, and either they came to a deal or they're close to coming to a deal. But this writer's strike, we don't see the end of it yet.
That's wild.
Seems to be
I
no
wonder
sign
what
yet.
Brutal.
Like they said last time that the strike came and it, you know, kind of spawned what we know of reality TV now. I wonder what the consequences of this strike will be.
Yeah.
If studios were more prepared this time because they knew it was coming and they knew something like this could be a long time, or if it's some sort of thing in the next 5 years that we don't even know that's going to happen. But anyway,
Yeah.
I can run you through some of the movies that are going to be delayed, and that's the likes of Captain
All of
America:
them.
Brave New World, Thunderbolts, Blade. Blade's not coming out. I'm convinced that movie's not happening. Right?
It's in production
at
hell
this point.
right now. It's really going through it, and I hope they pull it together.
Jesus, Fantastic
I
Four.
mean-
I forgot they were doing that. What were you saying, Eric?
I did not.
I mean, what Blade? That fucking script was done in 2012, wasn't it?
Something like crazy like that, yeah. Avengers Secret War moved to May 7th, 2027. Why do I care about that? That's so This is what's kind of irking me, if I could soapbox this real quick, is the track that they have set out for movies. Why are they doing that? Why do they need to tell you, oh, hey, we have 8 movies that are coming out in 14 years? Nobody knows the landscape of what people are going to like in 6 years. It's crazy. Like, why would you commit to making these movies where what happens if several of these movies bomb and you have to change gear? Like, I guess it doesn't matter too much because on our end of it, because we're just like sitting here with our thumb in our ass, like, oh, okay, I guess the Avengers movie isn't coming out in 6 years. Oh, but it's like, I don't know. You're putting this into a box where you have to write things slowly. Like, we're not going to get, like, nothing is going to happen in the MCU until that Avengers movie. You know that, right? Like, nothing's happening. No one's dying. There's no, like,
It's
nothing
all
of
build up.
consequence.
It's all build up.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I want to fucking watch 3 years of movies to get to what's probably going to be a mid-tier villain comparatively to Thanos.
Yeah,
It's
is really
just-
odd. It's really Marvel Studios that's doing that for the most
Mm-hmm.
part. It's like when they first started doing these announcements of like phases, the phases didn't stretch out 6 years into the future. You got the slate of movies for like this year and next year, and I think that's fine. But the
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
way they're
Oh, of
doing
course.
it now, it's like but I will say one thing I found interesting is I bet that they're kind of happy that they had a real good excuse to push the Kang dynasty off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
There's
think
probably-
they're
oh,
like,
yeah.
we don't know
Yep.
how this stuff's playing out. Yeah, let's push that off. And then another thing I found real interesting, you have all these delays, and I almost feel like they're like, I know this sucks, so we'll give you Deadpool a little early.
Well, they probably
Yeah.
looked at Hugh Jackman and was like, dude, he's not going to sit around and wait. He can't stay in shape that long. Like, come on now.
That's the whole reason he retired the character of Wolverine anyway. He didn't want to do that anymore. So you're going to make him do it for even longer? Like, nah, you got to get this shit out now.
Yep.
But what are some of the other movies that got pushed off?
Dude,
they pushed off
Avatar
Avatar
5.
4. So they pushed off Avatar 3 to 2025, Avatar 4 to 2029, and Avatar 5 to 2031. You're in the 30s, not even like the 2020s anymore, the 2030s.
That year doesn't even sound real. You know what I mean? I know, like, obviously, it's not that far technically.
Late, it's
but
not.
it is.
It's not. It's
But
closer
at
to
the same time, I feel like I won't even be alive when
I feel like
2031
it's the
rolls
future.
around.
December of 2031.
Yeah, it's
Which makes it 22 years after the original.
That's absolutely insane.
Disgusting. It's disgusting. But you know what? When it comes to Avatar, though, it's like whether the movie's fire or not, and when it comes out doesn't matter. When this movie comes out, it's going to make money. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. The story isn't that crucial. You know, it's not like the MCU. It's like we need these plot points of the story. We need to know what's happening. It's like Avatar. James Cameron's gonna give us some fucking story that he came up with one night when he woke up in the middle of the night. We're gonna eat it up, and that's all that.
What
matters.
What happens if James Cameron dies?
I was thinking that because how old is James? James Cameron is like 60 something, isn't he?
He's got to be.
I mean, this man's going to be like in his 70s when this fucking
68.
Yeah,
68.
So
guys, read the room here.
I mean, and I have to rewatch Avatar 2 because I was way too fucking stoned for that fucking movie.
I was actually gonna bring up and say that maybe we should watch it. We should do it as a movie of the week because we can watch it now. I was gonna watch it tomorrow night. Was gonna be the night that I watched it. I was supposed to go watch my friend's dogs. I was supposed to dog sit and house sit for a couple days, and I was like, I got some time to kill. I'll watch this fucking Avatar movie, and then. Now I'm not. Things change. That's why we're going to the movies tomorrow, Ginty. So I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be." We're going at 10:30. The movie's 2.5 hours long. We're not getting out that bitch till like 1 o'clock in the morning.
It's all right. That's what beers are for.
Exactly.
I do want to say real quick, shout out to Maddie in the comment section. He said, "What's crack-a-jackin'?" And he thought Way of Water was dope, and he can't wait for the game that's coming out. Which, there is an Avatar game coming out. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
From what I actually remember, the movie was I couldn't focus. Do not eat edibles and watch that movie.
No. No, absolutely not. I felt high watching that movie sober.
Oh my god! I was like,
you told me you were doing that. I'm like, Ginty.
So I shouldn't get bombed Saturday night and watch it because I think I might watch it Saturday night because it's going to be rainy and crappy all day. So maybe that might be my Saturday afternoon activity.
Yes, you got to watch that stone sober.
I will say the frame rate wasn't as jarring when I watched it on Disney Plus. I'm not sure what frame rate it was pushing it out as. It was a higher frame rate than most movies, but it wasn't as high as it was when I went and saw it in the IMAX theater.
Dude, it was brutal for me. I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't focus on the TV because
shit's moving.
It looks like, well, not that, but it looked like it was trying to be 3D. It was just so messed up. It was like. I was actually getting a headache watching it because
it was put at that frame rate to add to the 3D, and that's why to this day that is the best 3D I've ever seen in my entire life. With a high frame rate that is the recipe for amazing 3D. Is a high frame rate with the 3D. Shit was popping out. I was like, this is amazing. That theater.
Do you remember when they tried to make? You remember when they tried to just push 3D for everything? They were like 3D everything, and it was like a normal like serial killer movie, and it's like
And then they tried to do the at-home DVDs. You could buy the 3D DVDs and you put on the red, and blue.
Speaking of that,
3D shit.
if Maddie's still here, if Maddie's still in the comment section, he had a 3D TV, a 3D capable TV, and we had the glasses and everything. The glasses were like $80 a piece.
Yep.
Oh
My dad had
what a
one.
stupid
My
waste.
Yeah.
I played
My uncle
one of the
my uncle
Arkham
had one.
games in
Yeah.
3D, and I put the glasses on and everything. Yeah,
It was like
worked.
kind of cool. It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It spatialized things, but like what a waste of technology.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
Not
yeah,
everything
so like
is
we
meant
said,
to be seen in 3D, but anyway,
the good-
with the
the
Disney
good
release
news-
dates,
the good news of that is that we get Deadpool 3 a lot sooner, which will be nice.
yeah, absolutely.
Everything else being pushed back, I guess it sucks. I don't know if it sucks or not. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't been following the MCU super close because it's just I'm kind of tired of it. I kind of want to just pick and choose what really interests me. I still haven't seen Guardians 3. I'm slacking, but it's just because it's like I don't know, man. There's nothing else you're in the middle of this phase where, just none of this matters.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about Guardians 3 is it has nothing to do with the phase. It didn't push the MCU forward, didn't do any of that, but I feel like that's what made it so good. James Gunn was very focused on the story of the Guardians, and that's what made that an incredible film. There was no mention of Kang. Nothing in that movie pushed the MCU forward whatsoever, and that's fine.
No.
Maybe I'm interested in seeing it now. Then
I think you'll like it, Mike. I really do. It was a really good movie.
Yeah.
cool.
I believe so too. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Another interesting thing that was in here is that we're getting 2 Star Wars films in the same year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's gonna be cool.
In the same year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hopefully that's not too much Star Wars, and they haven't just like got too excited off of the moderate success of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I'm excited to see
never-
Star Wars on the
never
big
too
screen
much
again.
Star
I think
Wars.
Star Wars is meant to be seen on the big screen. And I
Now,
do
what-
like
Agreed.
these Star Wars shows, but like I'm ready to get back into the movie theater and see a good Star Wars movie. I really am.
Yeah. Now, did they say which ones they are?
They didn't specifically say. I think one of them will probably be that Ray one.
Yeah, it says
Yep,
we can
it is.
assume that. Yeah. So we can assume the one is a traditional slot, third film repeatedly heading to 2027. And we assume one is the Ray follow-up starring Daisy Ridley.
Yeah.
So, and they haven't said anything about what that is, right? Her starting a Jedi Academy or something.
Yeah,
weird
something.
Like that.
Something.
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah,
know.
definitely.
And
If they want to
think
get their
other
shit
one
together and give it another chance, like sure,
Yeah.
whatever.
I think the other movie is that one where it's the beginning of the Force, like from
Oh,
like
that's right.
26,000 years in the past.
That's the James Mangold one, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Yep.
sure.
Yeah.
And then they're also supposed to do that, the accumulation of the Mandalorian and Boba Fett and Ahsoka and all that stuff is supposed to be a movie.
The
So
ending to
yeah,
that's supposed to be ending as a
there's
movie.
quite a
yeah.
few.
Which,
And I
who
still want to
knows?
see the Old
'Cause
Republic movie they're supposed
Bring
to
it
do.
on.
Maybe those are the 3.
Yeah.
Maybe. But anyway, moving on from one conglomerate that kind of sucked, 2 conglomerates that kind of suck, to one that doesn't suck as much. I have a soft spot for Netflix. I don't know. Every time I see people talk shit about Netflix, I'm like, guys, like, come on now. I see it all the time when they've been announcing this password sharing crackdown for a few years now, probably
Yeah.
say 2 years. Basically doesn't allow you to share your password with someone who's not in your house. This hasn't been an issue for me yet. I know they rolled this out on the 23rd of May. I haven't had any issues. I don't think I've even logged onto a Netflix anywhere else but my house. Now that I'm an adult and I pay for my own shit, I don't think.
Yeah.
Every time I see this on Facebook, though, I look at the comments and people are like, "Oh, that's it for me. See you later, Netflix. I'm signing out." And I always want to comment and be like, "How are you going to sign out if it's not your password? If it's not your account? How are you like what?" And it's such a weird thing for me because I'm usually always, I'm for the people. Hell, if it's free, I'm in. But you can't complain about something if you're not paying for it. Like
Exactly.
Facts.
Especially with the content that Netflix has given you that your ass got for free. And don't get me wrong, I got mine for free. You know what I mean? Like, I'm on somebody
at some
else's
point we
account.
all had a login. and hey, I'll run you through my shit right now. I get Netflix for free through T-Mobile. So it's not really free. I'm paying T-Mobile probably $6 a month for it
how I
that
have
they
my
low
Disney
key
Plus.
put in some other sort of fucking free and so some taxes and fees. That's where my Netflix is being paid for.
Yeah.
And then I give Disney Plus to somebody. In return, I get HBO Max. and then I pay for Hulu, the Hulu Disney ESPN bundle. So,
Dude, same. Yeah, like there's some things I gave out, like I gave out my
Mhm.
Max and I believe my Disney Plus, and then I get Netflix from somebody in Hulu. Like it's
Mhm.
a even exchange. But yeah, it's funny that you bring that up. Like, yeah, people, yeah, people saying this is going to be the end of Netflix, you know, and it's like, well,
so,
Yeah.
so to our point here, they saw a 102% increase in subscription rates
you know,
over
the
the last
highest
quarter.
amount of
Yeah.
subscribers they've seen in the last 4 fucking years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nearly 100,000 signups on the 26th and 27th. Both those days, nearly 100,000 signups.
Now, so they launched a thing, so I didn't get to see it because obviously I have my own Netflix, so I don't know. Neither of you guys obviously had a thing because apparently it was supposed to be you could easily migrate your profile on Netflix to its own new account. I never saw anything like that, so I don't know. But that is pretty cool how they were like, okay, well, because that was one thing for me, which I was stupidly ignorant about. Netflix offered me Netflix. T-Mobile offered me a free Netflix about a year ago, and I was like, I just don't want to move all my shit over. Like I have all the things I've watched, I have all the my lists,
Yeah.
my Netflix is basically catered to what I like, and I don't want to start a new profile. And then I realized
Yeah.
that you just go into the settings and hit add. Like there was a link. There was a link to Bridget, so I didn't have to change anything. It just like added. It was almost like a promo code, and it was like, oh, you type it into T-Mobile and it'll give you, now your bill
Yeah.
goes to them. But regardless, I think that's pretty cool where you can just migrate your profile to its own account. And it was
And
like
then it's
$8 a month extra for people if you have it outside the household, which is
exactly. And dude, that is like it it is still cheaper to just add that a little bit more
Mhm.
money to the account to have other people on it than it is for those people to go and get a whole other account. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just people complaining about this bothered me from day one. Day
me
one,
too.
it just irked me. And then just to see that Netflix is striving, because good for them for doing this, you know, even as
Mhm.
somebody who got it for free for so long, good for them because the content that they're putting out and the money that they're putting into these productions. I mean, you're paying for actors like Chris Evans and Dwayne the Rock Johnson and Ryan Reynolds, and you're doing Martin Scorsese films. Like,
Don't forget the
good
action
for you.
CEO.
And,
The action
and
CEO
Arnold,
now, Arnie.
yeah,
Oh,
dude, like
Arnold.
they should not be getting fucked. And you know what? Other streaming services are going to follow suit. Get ready. Get ready,
Yes.
and as they should,
Yeah.
because even Max just pulled some shit on me. They upped their prices, which one thing I do want to say that irked me is it was originally $15 that I was paying. Now it's going to be $16, but you only get UHD, and you got to pay $20 if you want 4K. That pissed me off a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that
whatever.
sucks.
But they added you can only watch on 2 screens at the $16 price range, and you can watch
Oh.
up to 4 screens on the 20. And I'm like, that's the beginning, because that's what Netflix started doing. They started adding how many screens you could do. So all these
Yep.
other streaming services are going to start following suit. And I think one of the big streaming services that need to do that is Disney Plus. I think
Yeah,
Disney Plus
Disney-
needs to hop on
So-
that with the content that they're pushing out.
So with Max, I pay for HBO anyway, so 'cause I have with my cable package,
Mm-hmm.
so I automatically get Max. So,
Oh, is that how that works? You
That
get
works.
Max too, even though okay,
Yeah.
cool.
yeah,
Because you
because
have
I'm,
HBO,
I'm
so it's all that stuff. Yeah.
I'm paying for HBO, so they're gonna give me Max. They just give it to me. I can just sign in.
Yeah, you also got
Yeah.
these streaming services that are combining. You know, Max just took over Discovery.
Mhm.
Discovery Plus.
I
You got Disney
saw
Plus
that. I'm
taking all the Hulu stuff now. They're trying to combine that.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah,
Yeah,
because like
they
Hulu,
gotta
yeah,
stop fucking
they're all
around.
trying. They're trying to. I think. I mean, Hulu's been around forever, so I don't think that they'll eventually like combine. But they're trying to push more Hulu stuff because I think what's happening is people that don't have that bundle are dropping, doing the whole watch and ditch thing where it's like, okay, a big like Mandalorian's coming out, I'll pick up the Disney Plus bundle for the month and cancel it because I don't need
Yeah.
to, if you're not a big Disney buff person, like you don't love Disney Plus is kind of useless. Like we literally
Oh,
watch
yeah.
if I didn't have the bundle, which is only like, the by itself Disney I think is like $10 a month or something like that, and then the bundle's 15. If I didn't have the bundle, I probably would ditch Disney Plus too, because I don't really watch. Once I watch the show, I'm like, I don't go back and watch Disney movies that often. And we watch The Simpsons every night to go to bed. That's like our background sleep show, and you can get that on Hulu. So it's like, and now again, obviously, I wouldn't ditch it because the person who I get my HBO Max from uses my Disney Plus. So I won't, I can't cancel it. Actually, I screwed up and I changed the password because why did I change the password? I changed the password for some reason, and then he texts me like the next day, and he's like, "Hey, you changed your password?" And I'm like, "Oh shit!" And then it happened with HBO Max when it switched to Max.
Yeah.
On most screens, so like my phone, for my phone and the TV in my living room, it switched and just the new app downloaded. It logged me in, and everything was fine. For my TV in my bedroom, I had to download the app, and then I had to re-sign in, and he had to change his password or something. And so like it was this big thing. I'm texting him like, "Oh, wait, which is there an exclamation point? What's going on here?" It was pretty hilarious. But ultimately I'm really pumped for Netflix for having this bounce back, because
Yeah.
I'm sick of the whole like, people getting pissed off about like who cares if you don't want a subscription, you don't have to go and complain and bitch about it, but you're gonna come back when some big show hits. You're just gonna have to come back and get it.
And they know that. They know that shit.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I've always been a fan of Netflix. I don't think I'll ever see myself getting rid of it.
Yeah, I almost did a couple of years ago. I wasn't watching anything on Netflix, and I was like, and then it did that thing where I was like, should I just ditch Netflix? Like, this is gonna be a sad day if I cancel my Netflix subscription, because I've had this thing forever. And then I was like, but I really don't watch anything. And then I was like, let me just go see if there's anything I'm interested in. And I found this whole goddamn section. And I'm like, oh, never mind, I'm back in.
Yeah.
I forgot that they had pushed all this stuff. But I love the sports shows that they do, like the F1 Drive to Survive, and now there's a Tour de France one that I've been watching.
Ooh.
That's awesome. Those those dramatic sport documentaries they do. Like there was a tennis one that was great. The golf one, Full Swing, was awesome, where they just follow a bunch of golfers around and make everything dramatic, and it's awesome.
Dude, the diversity of Netflix, that's why they're still top dog.
Yeah.
Like you said, like if you don't really fuck with Disney stuff, you're probably not gonna mess with Disney Plus. Like Netflix has everything for children, for horror, for sports, for reality television. Like they got everything.
So they're a little lackluster on the movies nowadays, because a lot of these studios are just not putting, like Paramount and there's some movies that just aren't going to Netflix anymore because they're just staying on their own streaming platform. But their documentaries are leaps and bounds better than anybody's. Like I was trying to watch some documentaries on like Hulu and on like what's the other one there? Peacock. And it was like I got halfway through the documentary. I'm like, this just isn't a Netflix documentary. It doesn't have that.
It's those
doesn't have that
old
vibe to it.
documentaries that are like
Yeah.
kind of corny, like
yeah,
low production.
Yep, Netflix through, baby, to the moon.
Love it.
All right,
That's all I got for Netflix.
Yeah, I think that'll be about a wrap. I think it's about time for that drink of the week.
Throw that intro.
Ginty, what do you got for us?
So I'm currently drinking one, but I'm gonna make a small one. We're gonna go with a gin Paloma instead of tequila. We get it's enough ice.
Gotta leave room for
Gotta
the
use
liquor.
The aviation gin, baby. Love me some Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, it looks like a shot.
Ryan Reynolds is out here just making all the money. All the money. You know what I mean? He's got his gin, he's got Mint Mobile.
And you gotta throw in that squirt.
What a weird name for a soda.
Yeah.
But man,
What is that, like a
Like-
Sprite?
Yeah.
it's a grapefruit
Is it?
Grapefruit soda.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like it's like Fresca.
Huh. Not really
So
big
a
on
tad bit
grapefruit.
more zesty.
Yeah,
A zesty squirt.
yeah,
Zesty squirt.
yeah. It's definitely a cloudy squirt.
Okay, that's not good. You should get that checked out.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well,
Little
Well-
dehydrated there.
a little milky.
It's gross. Now I gotta watch you drink it.
Ew.
Hey.
We gotta file this under a different category for a video.
Yeah.
Bearded man drinks cloudy squirt. Okay, all right.
Oh man,
Sorry, Zuckerberg.
he's demonetized in moments.
Demonetized.
That's all right. We'll save that in the flavor saver.
How was it?
Looking delicious. I literally I made it one night because I didn't have anything to mix with it, and I'm like, I mean, I like gin with Sprite, so let me try it with Squirt. Like, all right, I'm sold. That's my new go-to.
Nice.
Oh yeah. All right.
Gin with a Squirt.
Well, that's all we got today on episode 25 Personified Fandom. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. We'll get back to the TikTok videos as soon as I get back on the fucking horse. Got a lot going on lately. Mike, where can they find you?
And when I can actually spend some time and edit them and get them in there because they're long.
Oh yeah, we got those Hogwarts TikTok videos that.
Oh, my
I said
God.
Hogwarts, Harry Potter. I mean,
I was
Same
like,
thing.
Harry Hogwarts.
The
I got Hogwarts Legacy on my
ever.
mind.
Yeah, he's
Should
got
be
Legacy
in the
on his
mail
mind.
tomorrow. I can't wait. Mike,
And
where can they
what,
find
what
you?
was it, Josh?
But you
Don't
can
be
find
fucking
me.
weird.
I'm down to an undershirt now, so it's we're getting lower and lower.
Yeah, he has no pants on too, so that's a fun image for everybody. Ginty, where can they find you drinking?
You can find me usually Fridays, Saturday nights on TikTok Live at toke.24_NR. If I'm not there, who knows? I'm probably sleeping.
And you can find me at the Jamie Review on YouTube. I keep saying that I'm gonna drop a video, and I just freaking haven't. I just find me here. I'll be on Personified Fandom. Check out my old videos on Jamie Review. And yeah, until next time, everybody. Oh hey, look at you. You made it to the end of the video. Well, if you like what you saw, be sure to hit that like button. Also hit that subscribe button. Should be over here, I hope. Also check out some of the other videos we have on the channel right over here. Do it. Click the video. Click the video. Dude,